Hello, this is Martha. Welcome back to my channel, Preparing for Retirement. And I just wanted to give my monthly update for the net worth tracking. If you've never watched one of my net worth videos before, uh, we are actually trying to reach a goal of $750,000 net worth by the time that I retire. It was going to be in December. However, we've moved it up to the end of August. So we'll have to see if we can reach this or not. And we'll see how we did this month. The markets were up and down, pretty crazy actually. But I think we had a pretty good month. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. So first of all, emergency funds. For those who, again, didn't see prior net worth updates, I have been cutting into the emergency funds to try to round out retirement contributions for my husband specifically, because he is retired. He does not have a 401k to contribute to. So I do try to make sure that we make the full contributions for him. And with me stopping work, in the end of August, that kind of made that a little bit more urgent. Um, so actually it did go down a little bit. And again, that's from me taking money from it. But I do contribute every pay period. So we're down to 5,600 on that. For non-retirement investment accounts, this is where you're going to see a big change. We went to 95,000. So the reason that increased so much, if you did watch prior episodes, I had a windfall amount that I estimated to be about $80,000, and that did come in. I was paid out for something, and it actually came to $89,000, so that helped us quite a bit. So that money has been invested. It will go towards our cash flow, the dividends purchases, dividend stock purchases that will help us to cash flow our slow travel in retirement. And I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But in any case, some of that has already been invested, and I have started receiving dividends on that, and you'll see that at the end also. For 401k, I do continue to contribute to that, and so that has gone up to 84,000. And likewise, the Roth has also increased. I do continue to contribute to that every pay period. At this point, I believe I'm doing 15% to the 401k traditional and 5% to my Roth. For IRAs, those increased, and that is purely market gain. I do contribute a little bit. Well, actually, excuse me, yeah, a bit of that is regular contributions because of me increasing the amount for my husband's and trying to get it in there for the year since, as I said, he's retired and I am retiring. So our Roth IRAs, that is market action. So that's market increase right there. And then HSA, again, I continue to contribute to that, so that will continue to climb. Our real estate equity did drop a little bit. Mainly that has to do with me finishing paying off some work that we had to have completed for the house to sell. It is under contract, and actually we have a closing coming up in the next couple of weeks, and we're very excited about that. We were very fortunate to have a offer put in for a cash buyer, so it's been a very smooth process. It's probably the smoothest house sale we've ever had. This is our fifth house. So we're very excited about that. And that is going to provide the funds, the rest of the funds, to allow us to do the 7 bridge years of slow travel before our Social Security will then kick in and take over for the dividend stocks. So very exciting. So that leaves our net worth at 700,000. We are so close to 750, and we've got 3 months to do it. I don't know if we can do it. We'll have to see if we have a decent market. Actually, it'd have to be more than decent. It would have to be an unbelievable market. And I will be contributing heavily Since, we'll no longer have a house payment, we also won't have a rent payment. We plan to return to the US. We're still on our test trip. If you want to know more about our test trip, I'll leave a link here. But we're still on our test trip. And when we return to the US, we will we'll have the house closing, and then we will be heading north to help with my mom, who is elderly, and we try to help out with her uh, every summer. And we actually have a camper that we purchased that is on her land, which puts us right there with her. And I get lots of time with her, which is always a blessing. And it allows us to be close at hand in case she needs anything. But that means no rent payment either for the 3 months. So we should really be able to pile up some cash towards our travel this fall. So that's very exciting. More money in an emergency fund is always welcome. So the amount short of our goal is $49,000. We are so close. Um, so every month I do go ahead and I enter the amount of dividends and capital gains that we got for the prior month. And this month it's really increased because I did go ahead and begin to implement our cash flow plan with the $90,000 that we received for the windfall. And so one of the stocks had a much higher than normal payout. So that means that our dividends for the month came to 6,500, which is crazy. It's not always going to be like that, but it's pretty insane. Of that 6,500, the 90,000 accounts for 3,500. And when the house sells, we will be putting more money into dividend stocks, and then the majority of the money will be in much less risky investments, such as high yield savings account for the emergency savings, and also um, either CDs, a CD ladder, or T-bills or index funds for a small portion of it. But there will be less risk in over half of that money. So we had enough cash to bankroll if we just wanted to put it in high yield savings or in CDs. We had enough cash to do it for 7 years, but I decided to try to invest some in dividends, and that would leave us at the end of 7 years with still some cash left over, and we wouldn't have had to touch our retirement funds. So I'll leave a link to that video as well if you have questions about how we are doing this. So in any case, our month over month increase was 105,000. And again, that was mainly due to the 89,000 in my windfall. And that's an increase of 17%. So I'm really happy about this month. Very, very exciting that we're starting to see my cash flow plans for how we're funding our slow travel. We're starting to see that become a reality. And for the next 3 to 4 months, I will continue to build that up, and any dividends paid out will remain in the account as cash, and we'll just add to our emergency savings. So our budget right now that we have for our slow travel is 4,000 a month. And I will be releasing a video soon in the next couple of weeks about our month in Thailand. That was part of our test trip and how much that month cost us. And just to say, I mean, it's 4,000 is no problem for us. There are many, many places in the world that you can go, and you are able to be there for a month for that amount or under. So, um, as I said, that will be coming out in the next couple of months. But I did actually take to heart a comment from a viewer last month that said that it made more sense to see my net worth progression chart in a line graph rather than the column graph that I had. So the blue is the line graph of the progression of our net worth goal. And then the green, I decided to add a trending line. So the green shows that if you are persistent and you are consistent, then you will see your investments will pay off. It doesn't mean that it always will. You can see that there's ups and downs, and honestly, you just have to stay the course. The thing with the market, if you are investing in, say, index funds or funds, ETFs, or stocks, companies with proven track record, you do see overall that there is a gain. And I believe that the average for the market in the last, well, ever since inception, I think it's about 9.5% per year. So there's a rule called the rule of 72 that says take the number 72, divide it by the interest rate or the rate of appreciation growth, and that tells you how long it will take you to double your money. So going by the rule of 72, if you have money in the market, even if you don't add any more to it, 72 divided by 9 is, I'm having a brain moment here, is 8. So 8 years it will take you to double your money. If it's 10%, it will take you 7 years. So if you put, just say you had 200,000 in the market, you invested it and you don't touch it for 7 years or 8 years, that 200,000 will become 400,000 without you doing anything to it, as long as you are invested in uh, something that has a proven track record of growth. So even if you just put it in a stock market fund, such as Fidelity has one, I believe it's FNILX. I may be wrong on that one, but just a market index fund, then you'll see the appreciation uh, just by doing nothing. So that is how the stock market works. It doesn't mean that you'll have a good month every month or even a good year every year. You can see here that despite the fact that I was contributing, this went down from April of 2023 to May of 2023. It went from 437 down to 415, and that was with me continuing to contribute. So sometimes that's going to happen, but the overall trend is up. So in any case, again, we had a fantastic month. My windfall came in as I hoped that it would. And in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a house closing, which will continue to, I'll be able to continue implementing my investing plans so that we can make our slow travel dream of retirement come true. So I hope that everyone had a great investing month, and I hope that you saw fantastic results. And just stay the course. Just stay the course. I know it's rocky up and down. Just stay the course and just keep investing and just keep working towards your goal. So have a great weekend, everybody. God bless. Bye.